Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the number one sports podcast in the entire world. I'm your host, Drake Tharp. Thank you for tuning in, however you may be, YouTube, Spotify, next to your friend's ear, holding the phone up, however, in the living room. I don't care. We're going to jump into a jam-packed episode today. We got a few topics all around the sports world, basketball, football, college sports, etc. Let's jump right into business, the first prompt we got today, college players, the star college players, I may add, there's been, kind of a debate. Do they participate in these bowl games? Not the college football playoffs, the ones that actually mean anything, but the ones that, are just an extra game at the end of the season, okay? It was announced Kentucky quarterback Will Levis was not going to participate in his bowl game with Kentucky. We've seen it with other players in the past not participating in their bowl games. Christian McCaffrey, to name one. Honestly, with these star college players not going for these bowl games that don't necessarily mean anything, it's completely understandable, in my opinion. And a lot of players catch flack for it, for not being a team player, for not belonging to the team, for being a pansy, as a lot of these comments on Twitter, Instagram will say. These minor bowl games outside of the college football playoffs, like I said, don't really mean anything. And most of the time, these players, these star players, have already solidified their position in the draft. Okay, it's like college and making a living based on how they perform. Okay, it's almost the same thing as getting a degree. Why would you want to do anything to halter your career? And this could only hurt them. Also, hurting them physically. This could be risk of injury as well. So, make these, honestly, I don't know what there is to do with college football and, on their end, making these bowl games mean more than, just a trophy in the building. And, we'll see more participation if they can find a way to do that. There's a lot of speculation with NIL deals now. Could there be rewards for winning a bowl game, rewards for the players, besides, a team effort deal to get something for these bowl games. But, I find it completely understandable for star players not to participate in these meaningless bowl games. They don't mean anything. They literally don't. Who wants to play for the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl and, get a trophy in, Collins Hall? Who gives a shit? Nobody cares. These players have careers on the line, multi-million-dollar contracts waiting at their fingertips, and you want to risk, hurting your draft stock or getting injured for the sake of the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl? Hell no. You're not doing that. It doesn't mean anything. And, people who, you don't have pride for your team. You don't care about your brothers. I don't think they really care about, the Buffalo Wild Wing Bowl either. So, it's a dumb argument at this point if you're trying to make it for college players to participate in these bowl games. I don't understand it. I don't understand the backlash these players have gotten because, honestly, if it's not the national title, I don't think these guys, care about these bowl games besides, playing as a team. The college football playoffs are expanding, though, so these bowl games might mean something for these players in, the top 8 of the college football playoff poll. But anyway, college players not participating in bowl games, the stars, completely understandable. I get it, 100%. Committee, make something up for these bowl games. Give a cash prize out for most valuable player or something. There's NIL deals. The universities have fucking, insane amounts of money. There's no reason they can't. So, yeah, that's my opinion on that. I hate the backlash I see from it. But, yeah, I get it completely from a player standpoint. Anyway, we're going to jump right to the NBA, college football to NBA. I know, kind of a big trance. But Anthony Davis, I just want to start. He has been on an absolute tear, and the Lakers are looking unstoppable. I haven't looked at his last 11-game stats, his points per game, but they got to be up there. The Lakers right now are 8-3 in their last 11 games, and Anthony Davis is putting on a tear, including a 55-17 game against the Wizards a few days ago. I believe it was Sunday. I think peak Lakers now is the finals, okay? Yeah, call me crazy, but, if this is a healthy Lakers team for one, Anthony Davis needs to stay healthy. Russell Westbrook, LeBron, they all need to stay healthy. I do not think this is a team you want to meet in a 7-game series period. It's bound to happen with these stars coming together and, pulling off insane performances and getting that chemistry like, they can get. throughout a season, players develop chemistry. They've already had a season together, and they're running it back. They're going to have a whole nother 80 or 72 games to gather chemistry, and then throughout the playoffs, they're going to understand teams, and they're the stars of the league, and they're going to play efficiently as possible. But the Pelicans are first in the West right now. This conference in the West is completely up for grabs right now, and the Lakers are in the mix. Okay, the standings have been changing every day when it comes to the West. You got Pelicans on top right now. Next day it might be the Suns. Next day it might be the Warriors, Jazz included, who were just number one a week ago. I do think the winner right now will be of the entire NBA Finals will be from the East, respectively. I think the Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks are playing at a tier above any West team when it comes, first of all, from a defensive standpoint and just overall play. I was surprised to see the Celtics are number one in points per game in the East, and I thought it would be their defense, kind of pulling the haul, but it's they're scoring more efficiently than any team right now in the East, so it's their offense as well, and they're without Robert Williams. We could possibly see a Lakers-Celtics finals if the Lakers continue to play the way they're playing right now. This will be a conference finals team for sure, and possibly a finals team. I see the West completely up for grabs right now. The Suns look like chemistry has dropped. The Warriors are in a shooting slump. The teams like the Pelicans are too young to do anything, in my opinion. The Nuggets, kind of a regular season squad. I think, the only team that's got the real experience out of this are the Suns, who are down bad. The Warriors, shooting slump, but I still have the Warriors as my favorites, but Lakers right behind them, in my opinion. They're 8-3 right now in their last 11 games. Anthony Davis is the most valuable player on that squad and possibly most valuable player in the league, and his odds are going to jump up here soon. Well done, Anthony Davis, making Kentucky look good. Sorry to be a homer there for a second. Anyway, jumping right to the NFL, Baker Mayfield signs with the LA Rams. He has a game here in about 2 hours. It's 5 o'clock right now while I'm filming this. So, but he plays the Raiders tonight. We'll see how he does. The video will come out tomorrow, or it's already out. But we'll see the result behind that. We'll see how he does. But while the Rams have preemptively given up on the season, starting guys that we've never even heard of at quarterback, it's quite odd to me. As soon they had no problem starting these quarterbacks that were behind Matthew Stafford, but as soon as snap 49ers quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo goes out, then the Rams are preemptive, are making this decision to sign Baker Mayfield. It's weird to me. So they're completely out of the playoff mix right now. Baker was signed out of spite, so the 49ers couldn't get him. And LA versus San Francisco is one of the hottest rivalries right now in football. And, coincidentally, LA signs Baker Mayfield probably before the 49ers were going to. And LA knows they have zero chance at anything this season, so they make something worthwhile by signing Baker Mayfield. Yes, a spite move, in-division rivalry move. I like it a lot. It adds flair to the rivalry. And Baker Mayfield gets, a fresh start on a team, that's, solid defensively when it comes to star talent, but the season's completely over. But, he gets a fresh start on, in LA where the spotlight's on him. He's been kind of that guy his whole career. He loves the spotlight. So we'll see how this pans out. Baker Mayfield, though, we'll see where he's going to next season. Anywho. On to the Fab 5 parlay, baby. We got 2 odd bets, 2 money line bets, and 1 over-under. All NFL picks, here we go. I got the Eagles, 7-point favorites. I got them, 7-point favorites. Tampa against the 49ers, 3.5-point underdogs right now with Brock Purdy. I'm not completely sure on this. I'm going to take a wild one here. I'm going to say Tampa's going to win the game, and they're 3.5-point underdogs, even if it's close. For that bet there. Moneyline Cowboys, Moneyline Seattle, and I got Bengals, Browns over 46 points. I think Deshaun Watson will get out of that slump, and Joe Burrow and the Bengals have been unstoppable. So those are my Fab 5 parlay. Put some money down on that sucker if you want to. We can win together. We can all win together. It's fine. Anyway, NFL Power Rankings. Here we go. These are my personal Power Rankings. Number 10. The Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are 7-5 and on the verge of winning the NFC West after Jimmy Garoppolo's injury. We'll see how the 49ers play. Geno Smith and the receiving core are playing top-notch right now. Tyler Lockett having a touchdown in nearly pretty much every game of the season this year, it seems like. And DK Metcalf making huge plays for that squad. Geno Smith looking like a top 10 quarterback as well. Seattle 7-5. We'll see how deep they go in the playoffs, but I don't see anything crazy from them. Number 9, I got the Titans. They took a beat down from the Eagles, but they're still one of the best defenses in football. They caught a tough game, but I think they're most dangerous when they're controlling the pace of the game, controlling the run game. And, their slow offensive drives, I know it drives defensive coordinators crazy. So I got them at number 9. A team like the Titans are dangerous in the playoffs, mainly because of their defense and how they control the pace of the game. Number 8, I got the Dolphins. Let me say, they're still one of the top offenses in football, and they were heavily exposed by San Fran, we will admit. And Tua's got a decent amount of way to go before he is a profound superstar quarterback. But they have the talent's all there, and they just need to pipe down on turnovers. And they're one of the best offenses in the league. They're the definition of boom or bust, in my opinion. They have the most boom potential out of any team in the NFL. And if they hit that boom, they're Super Bowl champions. I'm just gonna say right now. Number 7, the Minnesota Vikings. They are the king of close games, and with a 10-2 record, you'd expect them to be higher on the list. But they need a jackhammer win. A jackhammer win is a destruction. Okay, heading into the playoffs for teams, they need to be feared by teams, and for momentum purposes, they need a jackhammer win. So they're sitting at number 7 for me. They had a close game with the Jets. Jets have a very good defensive squad, but teams like that. Like the Jets dwindling in and out of the wild card spot. Minnesota needs to take them down as the top NFC team they like to be. Number 6, I got the Bills. Reason why, they've lost Von Miller. They had a close game with the Lions on Thanksgiving, and they've slowed down a lot of their offensive attack in the last 2 weeks. Okay, their defense took a huge hit with Von Miller. They can't have close games like that with Detroit, with a team like Detroit at least. They just don't seem as poised as the beginning of the season. And like the Vikings, they need to handle teams to show contendership, especially in the AFC. They can't, be taking L's to teams like the Jets and having close games with the Lions. We know their squad is talented as hell, and they're due for one eventually, but they're number 6 right now, in my opinion. Number 5, the 49ers, okay? Brock Purdy, yes, rookie, Mr. Irrelevant. I still love their defense. The Brock Purdy situation is very questionable. We'll see if their offense can, thrive with Mr. Irrelevant behind center, but I love the defense. Defense wins championships, simple and plain. Number 4, Bengals. Well, they're Kansas City's dad, okay? And I know this is going to hurt a lot of Chiefs fans' feelings, but it's the truth right now. And Joe Burrow looks better than ever with an 8-4 record. They seem poised to make another run at the Super Bowl if they can play like they did against the Chiefs. But number 3, I got the Chiefs, okay? Listen, 3-0 against that team, yeah, it's not a fluke. But, it's different seasons, different times. The Chiefs aren't going to lose to a team like that 4 times in a row. I'd hope to God not, or else this is just looking like Patrick Mahomes is a fluke the whole time. Looking at KC, we know they're the most talented team in the AFC by a mile. Okay, we can see that with their offense, with mainly Patrick Mahomes, but I wouldn't bank on, Cincinnati, Buffalo, or Tennessee beating them come playoff time. They always have something under their hats. It's going to come down to Mahomes just being the best guy on the field, in my opinion. Andy Reid being the best scheme master. Bengals can have their regular season wins. They beat him in the playoffs last year. I don't think anybody expected them. The Chiefs are going to take them a lot more seriously come playoff time. I have the Chiefs as my AFC Super Bowl favorite right now. And down to the last 2 squads. Number 2, I got the Dallas Cowboys. Wow, that defense certainly showed up against Indianapolis, scoring 33 points in the fourth quarter, going on a 33-0 run, in fact. The offense can be a little slow-paced. Dak Prescott, all of them. It can be a little slow-paced at times, but, man, that defense looked unstoppable. They had a close game with Green Bay, but they fired right back against them. And, they took down the Vikings with ease. They just destroyed a mediocre team in the Colts. They're number 2 right now. They are the most momentum in the league right now. They have the most momentum out of any team. Number 1, though, the Eagles. What a dominant win against one of the best teams in football. They had no problem against a top defense like that, and certainly bounced back from their one loss against Washington. It all comes down to Dallas-Philly. I'd like to put them, kind of both at 1, but, right now I can't. I think the Dallas is the hottest team right now in football, but I think the Eagles, with a team like the Titans, that's a good defensive squad, and they made them look like pish-posh. The Dallas-Philly matchup at the end of the season will certainly tell a lot. So those are my rankings right now. We'll see how they stand after Week 18 come playoff time. I'm excited for that. It's going to be great. There's a lot of competitive teams right now that could make it, but my favorites right now, I'd like to say Dallas and Kansas City Super Bowl. I think Dallas's defense will handle the Eagles a lot better than the Titans did, and obviously Dallas has a better offense. We'll see though. These division rival games in the playoffs are so fun to watch. It's going to be insane. Anyway, that is the end of the show. Thank you guys for watching. I would like to drop a NFL mock draft upcoming. It's going to be here sooner than you think in April. And I love to look early at these draft prospects and what they bring to the table. Anyway, that's the news on that. I'll see you all later. Peace.